Hello, welcome back. This is Bill.
Hi!
Bill's broke his car. Bill can't be trusted with things because he's really old and rides the clutch. Mark 1 Focus, 1.6 is it?
Yeah.
1600 Sigma. Is it Sigma SC?
Oh no, there's dirt. It's dirty!
I think it's a 1600 Sigma SC. The release bearing has failed. The hydraulic release bearing has failed. We believe it's... How many miles it's done?
103,000.
103,000. So we believe it's had a clutch and they haven't changed release bearing, trying to be cheap. Release bearing's failed. No clutch. Clutch just hits the bulkhead for a laugh. Bill's in a hurry. I'm not. I'm really not in a hurry. As you can see, the airbox is missing, the battery's missing, they're on the floor. I should get him a light really. He's got old eyes and all that. I'm getting abused already. So basically today, this afternoon, this evening, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, if he throws his hip out or something, it'll take till tomorrow. We're going to be doing a clutch, and yeah, first things first, take the airbox out, take the battery out, make sure the battery's disconnected, don't try and remove it, it's still connected, it's not going to work. He's tried this before. And basically we're just going to work our way down, get to the top of the gearbox, and then start from the bottom and work our way up. From memory, drive shafts in these are loads of fun to do. I've got some catching up to do, seeing as he's trying to break the battery tray out. Bill used to work at Volkswagen. Never mind.
And Audi.
And Audi.
No one's safe.
Unfortunately, now he's working on a Ford, where the plastic is slightly cheaper and slightly more brittle. And it looks like he's struggling. I'll catch up to you soon. Well, we're back. Again, everything's sort of removed from the top. Bill's decided that when I said the drive shafts don't want to come out easily, that I was doing it wrong, and he's getting violent with it. On this type of gearbox, is this IB5 or MTX?
IB5, I think.
I think it's an IB5. You have to pop in the UK, the passenger side one out, and then get a drift in and knock the driver's side one out. The only problem is that these things don't come out so easy. To start with, the snap ring on them really does go snap. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing. I'm really not quite sure. I think that was his back just went. But yeah, we had some issues getting the bottom ball joint bolts out. They were seized in, but eventually got them out and redressed the threads using the nut. Nice and professional. One of the ball joints really doesn't want to come out, so we've let that soak in some penetrating oil, and we're going to have another go at that in a minute. Apart from that, we're trying to get the shafts out. Once we've got the shafts out, we can really drop the box out. I don't know how long we've been on it, half hour. But to be honest, this isn't such a bad job. Well, once you've got stuff out the way at the top, and you've got the ball joint bolts out, it's not such a bad job.
That's what you think.
I know it's not such a bad job. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do. I'm sure when I watch this back later, I'm going to see what he's doing whilst I'm looking at the camera, and he's probably swearing at me at some point. But we'll report back later when we've got the drive shaft out.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't actually end up getting the passenger side shaft out because we didn't. But the driver's side, or the long one, if you're in Europe and you can understand my English, which is unlikely, fell out. And when I mean fell out, you could just grab it with your hand and pull it.
Readjusted.
He's readjusted himself. Well, gearbox out, gearbox on the floor. And where's my light gone? There we go. This little bad boy is what we believe the problem is. 8mm furthest one on the left. Again, to get it out, nice and easy. Pull the shafts, take the top mount off. We actually, out of the Polo that I broke for mine earlier on in the unpopular car series, I took the spare wheel jack out for mine, but I found a better one. So what we have ended up doing, if you can see down in there, we ended up using the scissor jack to push the engine forward so we can get it out past subframe. Win. That's a real bodge win, but it works. Now Grandpa is, oh there you go, he's got it out. That's a hydraulic concentric release bearing, and that one's fucked. I might have to learn how to beep out swear words. There might be one or two. He's having a little poke round. It's really old. He'll forget in a minute.
Got rid of the fucking slave.
There you go. Told you he'd forget. The reason we're having to change the clutch is when this failed, it's thrown loads of oil into the clutch. Now we could smell it burning off the clutch itself as the clutch slipped. That's kind of game over for the clutch assembly. Every time you're here, you've got to the point of taking the gearbox out. What was the whole lot from Ford's?
£182 with the oil.
For the whole lot, the clutch, the release bearing and 3 litres of oil is £182. Whilst you're there, you're going to put a new one in. Oh, here's the difference between the old one and the new one. There's a slight difference in height. Bearing in mind this one, let's turn the camera lens back on. This one's got a little spring behind it. See the height difference? That's the issue. The old one's collapsed. No matter how hard or much you tried to pump on the pedal to bleed it through, that was it, game over. It's not going to happen. So it's 3 bolts. To remove that, there you go, look. This is brilliant.
What's seeing me actually work?
Having someone else do it. Normally it's me trying to do this one-handed.
I'm not going to make any comments.
I'm still better than you one-handed. His hip will go or something. I don't know. What do old people do? Forget where they are, and he's not actually that old. He's only 75, but he don't look it. He looks more like 175. Clutch, 6 bolts, and pop the clutch off, and I'll show you the damage. The damage what's been done to that. So when we get that off, I'll catch up with you again. Sorry for the compressor running in the background. That's the clutch. Nice and shiny and stinks. Absolutely stinks. You can see where it slipped because there's clutch fluid all over it, brake and clutch fluid. Bill's having a look, refreshing himself with clutches. He's forgotten, bless him. Yeah, we're just about to open a new one. Clean it off, a bit of brake cleaner. And put it all back together. Aha! Easy peasy. We've got the clutch changed, got the gearbox back up and in. And to be honest, it actually went in quite nicely. Bill's having a little lay down because he's like really old. He's using a block of 3x3 for a headrest. Unfortunately, gearbox had a little wee-wee, as you can see. There's towel underneath. So, working underneath, putting the bottom bolts in and the shaft and the rock control mount and that, he's having a little backward step. Yeah, apart from that, it's just sort of start bolting things back on. When you're doing things like this, you take off as much as you need. Things like the rock control mount on the bottom. It's one bolt holds it to the subframe, 3 bolts holds it to the gearbox. And you could probably get away with not taking it off at all, and the gearbox will come out. But getting it out and putting it back are very different things. So for the sake of it, just take it off. It's 4 bolts in total to take the whole thing off, and that's it. Job done. It's out of your way. And if you're anything like him, you need it out of your way. Excuse me, I'm still suffering. Bearing in mind he used to... Ex-Master Tech has decided that he likes my toys.
Excuse me.
Toys. And this one, as I've mentioned before, turns out he quite likes that, and he's never seen one before until today, and he saw me use it and then immediately wanted to have a play, didn't you, Bill?
Yeah.
So
Indeed.
he also appears to like my battery ratchet and appears to like the red torch I have. Also, Bill, wherever he is, being a green buyer, has seen that here green thing. He quite likes that, but he appears to like things that, like using things that are red. And when I bought the battery ratchet, they didn't have them in green. They brought them later in green when they realised that they sold quite well. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but believe me, it's worth its weight in gold when you need it. I think he's fighting with the... That's where the fill plug is, isn't it, Bill?
Fuck's sake.
he's put the gear cables on, and on these there's a plastic cover that goes over the front, and he's fighting to try and get it back on. Yeah, we need to get in there to fill it up. There's a fill point in there. He's now swearing at me. He's not very happy at the minute. But yeah, it's all back together. Lined the clutch up, stuck the thing in, lined it up, and then had a little feel with fingers, make sure it was all right. Done it up. I don't know what he's muttering to himself now, but yeah, so far it's going swimmingly. He doesn't look too happy. I'm not sure if that's the arthritis or just wind. Oh, hang on, he's got a hammer. This isn't going to end well. Yeah. Catch up with you when we try and bleed it. But literally all we're doing now is try and bleed it. All we're doing now is literally just the reversal. We're just putting bits back exactly the same as we took them off. The only other things we did have issues with is getting the shafts, the bolts out and the shafts. Now you just took an air hammer to them and smashed them out. Some people will say that that's not correct and you should do this and you should draw them through, and yeah, it's worked. So I don't know what he's doing now and I really don't want to know, but best go have a look. Well, it's all back together. And I didn't come back on the bleeding stage because we were having so much fun. And all we ended up doing in the end was one of us was inside by hand, pump the pedal up and down, hold it down. Other one would release the bleed nipple. And it would shoot out air and old fluid. We just kept doing that and the pedal was getting harder and harder and harder. Then started doing it by foot, just kept doing the same, pump it 5 times, hold it down. Open the valve and it would squirt out air and fluid. Shut the valve whilst the pedal's still down. Lift it back up, pump it up and down again. And, well, I think we're at that point in time where we can. There you go, Bill, there's the keys, try it. No, don't do that. Appears to work. What does the clutch feel like?
A little bit light, but it's there. Better than not there.
Is it light because it's brand new?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or is it... It works. If there's any air in it, it wouldn't work. The slightest bit of air, when it's compressed, it just wouldn't work. So there we have it. When this is uploaded and put together, this is literally going to be the worst Gearbox video on YouTube. We didn't show you any of doing it, just updates of what happens through the meantime and getting abused. Sorry. I will have another one of these in at some point.
When I break it next time.
When he breaks his next time. No doubt there'll probably be more videos of Bill and Bill's shit cars. He's got dirt all over his face and everything. He looks like he's been down a coal mines.
Down to mines.
Which, if you're not in England, you probably wouldn't get that, but never mind. And if you are in England, there's a fair chance you still wouldn't get it. But it's back together. It works. He's now going to put the little bit of plastic shielding on that
I tried to put on earlier.
he tried to put on earlier and shouldn't have done. Filling the gearbox up was fun. Filled it up and gone, yeah, that's it. It's taken its 3 litres. Pulled it out and it spewed half a litre all over the floor. Thanks. There we go. Sounds like that's done.
Perfect.
Everything's gone back as it should. We've got no spare bits on the floor, have we?
No.
We got any spare bits?
Nope. Only locking all up.
No spare bits on the floor. So we haven't made it better this time round. Normally spare bits mean you can make it better. That bolt isn't needed. But, hey, we're going to drop it on the floor. And if Bill's going to test drive it up the road, I might show that. If he doesn't and just goes home, then that will be remembered. He's giggling. He thinks I'm like playing about. We're going skiing in February, and Bill has been told he's the driver, mainly because he's oldest.
Only one
But
can get insurance.
No, that's not the case. You know that's not the case.
I'm the only one that can get insurance because I'm over 30.
He said over 130.
100 is over 30.
Yeah, I can get insurance. The issue is all of my friends, including Bill, don't want me to drive because I'm most likely to pull the handbrake mid-corner and go, this is a laugh, whilst they're screaming, hoping that we come out the other side.
Fucking maniac.
Because apparently I'm a maniac. But I expect Bill, after doing this, to stick up for me so I get to sit in the passenger seat for the 3 hours there and the 3 hours back. Did you hear that?
What expectations get you?
Duly noted.
That you're going in the passenger seat.
You already have?
Yeah.
Oh, good. There we go. I'm going in the passenger seat. Videos are going to come later on in the year. This has come whilst I'm partway through doing the Clio engine, and yeah, I thought I'd help a mate out. But yeah, Ford's 1600 Sigma. It's actually not a bad job. We did it on the floor, didn't do it on the ramp. It's really not a bad job to do. Yeah. When Bill's test drives it, I might put some footage up if you can see anything, because it's not fully dark, but you might not be able to pick anything out. So, right, I'll see you in a moment. Test drive. Let's see if it works. Look, he's tiny. I'm getting smaller.
I'll be back.
He says he'll be back. I doubt it. Probably going home, like a sensible person. Bye, Bill. Well, there we go. Let's walk back in the workshop where there's some light. The worst focus clutch video possibly on the internet. Didn't actually see anything happen. All you saw was updates midway through and a gearbox on the floor. So yeah, there we go. If you like the pants video, please click like, and if you like the content, please click subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. And Bill says he'll see you soon, maybe. He'll be back at some point. Ciao!